Hi everyone, thanks so much for coming to my YouTube channel. My name is Lexas. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I've actually genuinely been thinking about for a while, and it's what makes a good photographer. How can you be a good photographer? I've been thinking about it, but I want to make it clear that it's not like I know everything, and it's not like this list is going to be exhaustive. But these are just the things that I have learned in my over 10 years of practicing and learning and growing as a photographer. How I have gotten to this point, how I have gained the trust of my clients and other photographers who learn from me and who have grown with me. So, here are some of the major things that I have learned over the years on how to be a good photographer. The first thing is be a learner. What that means basically is always seek opportunities to learn something new. That is how you stay relevant. That is how you stay consistently getting better at what you do. If you're always open to learning, if you're always open to trying new things out, that's how you get better, because the more you do, the better you get. I've not seen, you can go to all the schools you want, you can go to all the workshops, all the classes and whatnot that you want to go, master classes and all, but there's nothing that is as important as doing. So as much as you go to read and you watch tutorials and you go for master classes and all those things, you have to push yourself to actually try new things out and actually push yourself to actually shoot, because that's how you learn more. So yes, learn as much as you can, and that helps you grow faster, better, and you know you get to become a better photographer altogether. So yes, learning, be an avid learner, find books to read. I know that a lot of photographers are very visual, so they don't like reading books, so find tutorials to watch. There's no knowledge that is lost, because you might know about specific things, yes, but hearing it come from somebody else who also is doing it maybe in a totally different climate or space than you gives you a different perspective on the exact same thing, and it expands your knowledge. So yes, the first and very important thing is be a learner. The second thing that I want to talk about is be interesting. And when I say that is, you have to build your own personality. I think that a lot of photography requires you knowing the kind of person you are and letting that express itself, because if you know who you are, it will show in your work. Somebody who is not confident, somebody who doesn't have a personality, it will show in their work, because every time you're either copying somebody else's work, or there's no way to determine or define the kind of work you do, or today you are this kind of photographer, or another day you are growing with this trend. So you're always going with different trends that everybody is doing, and there's nothing unique to your personality. But if you are an interesting person, if you're somebody who is interested in yourself, if you're able to figure out who you are, if you're able to figure out what you're doing and what you like as a person, it will help you to determine and define the direction that you are going with your work. And that will influence how much better you grow and get as a photographer. It also affects the way people experience you, especially your clients. Now, if your clients find you interesting, they want you around. If they feel like you're always going to be the good vibe, for example, weddings are usually high tension environments. So if you're an interesting person, they would have a very beautiful experience of having you. Maybe you're the one making jokes with the bride or the groom, or trying to make sure that the place is lively so that everybody has a very good experience. I always, like, for example, I have to always have to be the energy definer in my shoots. I like to make sure that the client is happy. I like to make sure that the makeup artist is happy, the stylist. I like to make sure that everybody is happy on the set. So that helps to make sure that the shoot is going great, because then everybody is happy, and it's easy for them to go from one pose to the next, and everything is just like really, really good vibes. So because I do all these things, it helps my shoots to go better, and I'm able to dictate the mood of the shoot, and the pictures always turn out great. And also the clients end up saying, oh, beyond just the pictures and how beautiful they are, I love the experience of photographing with you. I loved the everywhere was just good. I was happy, and I'm happy, and I just feel like this is a very good, because sometimes the clients don't know how to be in your space, in your in your studio or wherever it is. They don't know how to really be in front of the camera. But if you make them comfortable, if you make them you know feel good, then they will be able to give you their best, and they'll be inclined to try things that you want to try out as well, and you get the best experience shooting. So yes, be interesting. And that leads me to the next thing: be interested. Now I know the last one was be interesting. Now this one is be interested. Be interested in your clients, be interested in creating, be interested in the art, be interested in the conversations that go around. I know a lot of people, you like to focus on one thing, and that's good. But like, if you're going to be photographing and telling stories, whether it's about people, whether it's about nature, whether it's about architecture, you have to be interested in what it is that you are doing. So don't just focus on knowing about light and angles and composition. Also know about the thing you're photographing. So if it's a portrait, know about your client, know about the person you're photographing. If it's about fashion, know about fashion, know the trends in fashion, know the colors that work in fashion, know about the Pantone tones of the year, know about the current trends that are going on with the modeling industry, so that you're in tune and you can have conversations that make sense with other people, with the people that you're going to be working with. If you are going to be doing a lot of beauty photography, you need to know about makeup, you need to know about what works in the makeup industry, what's the trend in the makeup industry, just so that because you are interested, you become interesting just by being interested in both your clients and the work that you're doing. So I find that like being interested also leads you to take the time to understand your clients and what they need. And once you do that, it helps them to be able to connect to you better, and then they are more comfortable around you. So be interested in your clients as well, and in your work as well, and it helps to make things much easier, and you become a better photographer for it. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is be intelligent. Now, there's multiple sides to being an intelligent person, and once you say intelligent, sometimes people think only from the perspective of being like book smart and everything. But in my opinion, that's basically just knowing how to apply yourself, both emotionally and mentally, to things around you. Is being aware, is being conscious. So for example, like you might be on set of a shoot and the client is getting frustrated, maybe they're not getting a pose right, or they're not satisfied with the picture. It takes you being aware to be able to consciously say, okay, you know what, let's take a breather. Maybe if you need to explain things better to the client, or the client needs to explain things better to you, that helps to diffuse situations, and you also kind of identifying things that maybe other people may not see. And it comes on both sides as well, not just the emotional side, but on the mental side. Like there's some times where I want to shoot something, and I can easily, and in that moment, I can tell that this is not what I want to get, and what I need to get this thing. You need to be able to be on your feet and think about what it takes to get what you need. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. Like, being intelligent in this context now means being able to being aware and being able to think on your feet. There's some times where I don't have maybe a particular prop or a particular thing I need for a shoot, and getting it might be difficult. So in that moment, I have to maybe think of what I can use to make do, or start thinking right from then on how I'm going to make it up, or what exactly I'm going to do. If you're able to explain what you're thinking about to a client, it makes things so much easier. And that's part of the intelligence that we're talking about. It has to do with you being able to express yourself and also understand how others express themselves as well. So being aware and being conscious and being intelligent is very useful as a photographer. And that's where intelligence comes in. Another way to be a good photographer is be professional. I know that a lot of people, just come out of school, maybe university or high school, and they go straight into becoming photographers. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like there's something to be said about people who have experienced, sort of a, you know, corporate environment. They've maybe worked a 9 to 5 before. There's a level of professionalism that forces on you. Like, you kind of have timelines, you have deadlines, you have KPIs, you have things, So there's just that level of professionalism that you don't really get to see, especially if you're going to be a professional. I think that every profession, everybody who is starting a business, whether as an artist or a creative, should get. And we creative people tend to have this whole, we want to be able to work on our own time, and that's all well and good. But like, one of the ways to be a good photographer actually is to be professional at what you do in a way that your clients can trust you, to deliver the work that you have promised that you would. Like, it goes as far as knowing how to send invoices and put contracts together. It goes all the way to delivering on your proposed timelines, managing client expectations, letting them know what you're going to deliver on time, and also delivering it on time and within the time that you actually promised that you're going to do that. It goes all the way to knowing how to set the scene, to prepare for the photographer for a photo shoot, for an event that you want to cover. It goes into how you dress. It goes into how you know deliver the work as well. And I find that a lot of people don't really know, like even presenting a mood board, all those things, like part of those things are stuff that you need to learn and be able to do at a very premium level, just so that you can actually request and ask for the big bucks. Professionalism is one of the things that actually separates regular photographers from great photographers as well. Some people, it's okay even to hire somebody who's going to handle that side of things for you. But if you are just starting out and if you want to grow big, you may not be able to hire somebody. So you need to learn those things for yourself and know how to apply them. So professionalism is one of the most important things as well to being a good photographer. Another thing that I'd like to add as well on being a good photographer is be kind. Be kind to your fellow photographers, be kind to your clients, be kind to yourself as well. I think the camera sometimes has the ability to actually create a barrier between you and the humanity behind it. And I'm talking especially for portrait photographers, or portrait and wedding photographers and event photographers. It's very possible to hide behind the gadgets and just always be in the corner. We mostly always wear black, just stand behind in a corner and try and tell the stories from a distance. But you can only tell really good stories when you have a, in quote, relationship with the thing behind the camera. You have to know it a way that is beyond just the technical part of it. Like, you can know all the technical jargon, but you will not be able to tell. That's the difference between taking pictures and telling stories. Taking pictures is, of course, you can just do it with any good camera, you get good pictures. The main difference between a good picture and a great picture is the story that is being told. And to be able to tell that story, you have to be kind enough to take a moment to listen and understand what's going on. I believe that people who shoot weddings, you don't know how to, be romantic. Sometimes you will not be able to tell those romantic stories that people want and love in their weddings. If you don't know how to be like a child and play like a child, it might be difficult to do child photography. So be kind. Be kind enough to listen. Be kind enough to put yourself in people's shoes. There should be a lot of empathy. Be kind enough to understand how people want to feel, because I see a lot of conversations around like, oh, you don't shoot for free, and you must always do this, as a business person, and yeah, that's all well and good, but you also need to realize that you're working with human beings, and sometimes you have to, as much as you need to create and set boundaries, you also need to take a moment to understand things that and apply situations as they come, rather than having a blanket rule that only works for everybody and you insist on that for everybody. I recently saw this story about the sepia photographer, and while the photographer was in the right for the most part, you also need to realize that you're photographing one of the most important days in a person's life. If you're doing that, you need to take into consideration what they want and what they like. And sometimes it may not necessarily be what exactly you typically give, but you need to be able to be open and kind enough to, consider what they want and see how you can find a middle ground that works for both of you. Yes, collect all your money, and you have your life to live, and you also have like your lifestyle that you need to maintain, and you have to have rules and laws and boundaries and everything. That's all well and good, yes, and it's important. But also, like I said, be kind. Apply discretion where necessary, and apply the rules and laws as they need to be, where necessary as well. I just think that it's important, because the kinder you are as well, the better people feel working with you, and over and over again you get more and more clients. I hope this helps you. become a better photographer. If you have any other suggestions, please drop it in the comments below. I really enjoyed sharing this. If you have any questions, if you want me to treat anything later, please do not forget to share in the comments. Subscribe, follow me on social media, and until next time, it's Lex Ash.